So with Lion, the first thing we're doing is we're getting rid of the outline. That's out, that's going away. The next thing, okay, the next big thing is the time. He's being halved. It was 7 seconds, 3 seconds of countdown, and then 4 seconds of effective time. Now it's going to be 1.5 to 2, and then 2 seconds of actually scanning. These two changes, we're confident, will take him to a place where he's still Lion, but he's not an operator that's going to help you kill people. He's an operator who's going to assist in gaining intel, and that's pretty much it. He will tell you someone's above him.
Yeah, he's moving into a role that's more that he was designed to be, that intel operator, and less that really frustrating kind of operator where it just you get killed and you feel frustrated by it.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Yeah. Really big change to Lion. Another little hint that we saw was at Glaz. What's happening with Glaz in year 4?
So Glaz, another unintended behavior happened with him. He became a very, very strong pusher on site. He became a bit too good in close quarters. So what we've done is we've linked his IR scope to his movement. Now that means that you can, if you want to, go slower, push, 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 and you can still gain that advantage of seeing through smoke and getting the yellow highlight. But it means that it's a lot more of a skill game. It's less of a everyone can do it pretty easily. The other thing that we did with this that is going to be very important is we pushed him to be much more of a sniper role. He capitalizes on your mistakes. He holds an angle, and you can see this in this video. He's there waiting for you to make a mistake, and when you make a mistake, he capitalizes on it. He gets you, and you don't know where from.
So he's more of that classic sniper role instead of the entry-fragger that
exactly. No more entry-fragging Glaz.
No more entry-fragging Glaz. I think our fans are going to really love that. So that's a really cool look at some of the design changes that are coming to Glaz and Lion coming in the first half of year 4. Now let's talk about a secondary gadget that doesn't usually get a lot of love. We haven't changed this since the launch of the season. The Deployable Shield. How is that changing in the future?
So, iconic and underused is the way we'd describe this. So what we did with this one is we realized the problems with it, which is placement is frustrating, and you've got these tiny gaps between doors. You've got these tiny gaps that you can be seen through. And what we wanted to do is make it more comfortable to position and make it more like you can actually play the game. There's something happening behind the shield, but before you couldn't see it, you couldn't interact with it. And now you're going to have those small slits that you can...
Here we're getting our first look at the new design. Yeah.
There we go. So those small slits, they're bulletproof glass, they're mirrors, and basically that will allow Glaz to no longer do this. But also those windows will allow the person behind the shield to see what's happening in front of them and make a move, because before maybe you weren't sure what was there.
Yeah, and just to be clear, you can't shoot through those slits. Yeah.
No shooting.
Yeah, so they're just there for visuals.
Yeah.
And gathering intel. This really becomes more of an intel gathering tool than anything. Yeah. It's
an intel gathering tool, and it's also going to have an impact, right? You see one of these, and as an attacker, you think, ooh, maybe I don't rush that. The other thing great about this is we've kept all the destruction mechanics the same, so it's going to be destroyed by grenades, ash charges, all these things, which means that it's still the shield you know and love, but it's got a little tweak to it.
It's a little bit better. Maybe you'll select those over impact grenades.
Maybe it's more of a choice.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit more of a choice, bringing that options to the players.
Yeah.
So those are some of the changes that are coming in year 4 down the line. Let's take a look at some of the changes that are going to be coming up immediately. These have been outlined in the designer notes, but let's show them off for the first time, starting with that Dokkaebi change and the mute interaction.
I'm excited for this one. So we kind of approached this together, which was quite fun. So now mute will get a small buff icon. It's actually hidden by my in picture, but you will see a blue icon appear when you're in range of the mute jammer, which will allow the defenders to better utilize that utility of mute. And then on that as well, mute jammers will now hang up the phone call when you walk into them. So you can see here, it's gone. It's a cleanse.
Yeah, so if we're talking about like video game terms, you have a debuff, and walking into a mute jammer cleanses you.
Exactly. It's going to mean that Mute has much more potential for placing his jammers in not just reinforced walls or drone holes. It's more flexible.
Yeah, another thing, we changed the timing of it as well.
Yeah, so this one's great. After 18 seconds, the time that we've worked with pro players in pro player feedback to fine-tune, the hang-up will happen automatically after 18 seconds. So you'll still get the advantage of Dokkaebi being able to pinpoint those roamers, but at the same time, it's not going to annoy you 2 minutes into the game.
Yeah, it's still enough to make her a viable option and be annoying, but then after 18 seconds, it
so if
goes to voicemail.
If you're in a firefight, you can ignore it and you won't need to deal with it.
Yeah, if you're running out of time in the map, as we've seen, you know, it might just run out.
Exactly.
Yeah, on its own. All right, so that is a look at two operators getting an interesting change in Year 4 Season 1.
Yep.
But there's another one that we hinted at.
Yeah.
Capitão.
So, this one's a big one for us. It's been worked on for a while, and it initially started as a bug fix because this is unintentional. So what we've done now is we've completely reworked the propagation system, and now you will get a much more reliable Firebolt. It will propagate into the area it should do, but also on top of that, we've reduced the damage, so it's less of a frag grenade and it's much more of a area denial, and you can maybe push a defender off a position with it, rather than using it as a frag grenade.
Right, so it allows a little bit of map control to
exactly.
the attacking team.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff. And now let's take a look at another secondary gadget that's going to be getting a little bit of a change, the breach charge. We haven't changed the breach charge since launch. So what are we doing to this?
Yet again, an iconic and underused. So this one, we've reduced the animation time, so it's going to deploy much quicker, it's going to be much safer to use. And then, on top of that, we've tweaked the damage. So the damage fall-off before was very intense, close up, and it was quite big. What we've done is on the attacker side, we've reduced that so that you'll be safer to use it, less killing yourself. And on the defender side,
thank you, Kit.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, I've killed myself many times with breach charges.
Yeah,
it's going to be useful.
So what we did on the defender side is we made it a little bit bigger, but there's less damage overall, and it will have more of an impact as I'm opening a wall. I'm not killing someone.
Right. So a little bit of a quality of life things.
Nothing huge, but
that
something
gadget.
Nice.
Yeah, and you know, one of the things that our community has been talking about over the past for a few months has been lean spam.
Right.
So what are we doing to introduce a first fix to lean spam?
So this first iteration, what we've done is we can see the videos. We've taken a first pass at it, lots of maths. This is the current one, and this isn't what we want. So instead, this is what we have now. No? Okay. There we go. So no more flapping heads. No more flapping heads.
Obviously, I want to reiterate that this is a first fix.
First iteration.
First iteration of
We're working on other things along the lines of crouch spam and lean spam as well. Let's see what happens with it.
Yeah.
This is a good start.
So you will be able to see all these, or all those changes in the Year 4 Season 1 test server starting tomorrow. Yep. We've already gotten good feedback on the lean spam, but we want more feedback from you guys, so let us know what your thoughts are once this hits the test server tomorrow.
Yep.
And of course, that's only the tip of the iceberg of balancing changes. We also have Ash losing her ACOG and and a few other changes that you might see down the line, but you'll see them all in the test.
More to come.
You'll see them all in the patch notes tomorrow. Now, Alex, let's talk about how we're making this game easier for newcomers to enter the game. We saw the newcomer playlist in the video. Tell us a little bit about more how this works and what are the rules behind it.
Sure. So newcomer playlist is us trying to